is... So he summoned that thing? Save current game, please, yes. It's funny, they do this a lot early game in Final Fantasy X. They give you save game, save game, save game, save game. And then it like really tapers out, it like disappears. It's weird, I quite liked the feature. I actually also liked the idea of playing one of my like challenges or whatever. Before I realised there are much better challenges for Final Fantasy X, would be to never save except in those situations.
You're really leaving, Captain? Shouldn't you heal up first?
Yuna needs me with her now. I can't be lying around in some bed.
Yeah, but...
Come on, look sharp. The Blitz season just started. Don't make those faces, yeah?
So there you go, that's the cup. This only happens if you won.
Well, see ya, boys. You be good.
Captain.
I can't hear you.
Captain!
Man, I love the Aurochs. What is this? Like, they're gone from the story now. There's no reason for them to continue traveling with us. So they're sort, you know, I love the Aurochs. Bye, guys. Bye.
Are you sure?
Never liked long goodbyes anyway. Sorry for making you wait, Yuna. I had some promises to keep, yeah? From now on, I'm your full-time guardian.
Then welcome back, Sir Waka. Good to have you with us.
No more distractions?
Hey. It's good to be back, yeah? So, any news on what happened?
Not really. We don't know where the fiends came from. Maester Micah is safe and sound, thanks to Maester Seymour. That's about it.
Maester Seymour's Aeon. It was so powerful.
That it was, yeah, jeez. Is that what a final tier summoner looks like?
Hey, you! Don't just stand there! All of this is your fault! Getting swallowed by sin, ending up here in Spira, not being able to go back to Xanark, and everything! I'm telling you, it's all your fault!
I'm sorry, it kind of is, too. This scene's pretty brutal. It throws you into it, but try and get into it, because seriously, I love this scene coming up. Like, he's finally just seen Auron, and he's laughing in his face right now.
Who are you, anyway? You knew my old man, didn't you?
Yeah,
And you also knew Yuna's father?
that's correct.
Hey man, there's no way. That's just impossible.
Nothing impossible about it. Jecht, Vraska, and I, together we defeated Sin 10 years ago. Then I went to Xanarkand, where I watched over you, so that one day I could bring you to Spira.
Why did it have to be me?
Jecht asked me to.
Is he alive?
It depends on what you mean by alive. He is no longer human. But then, I felt something of Jecht there in that shell, couldn't you? You must have felt him when you came in contact with Sin.
It can't be.
It is. Sin is Jecht.
No, that's ridiculous! No way! I don't believe you!
But it is the truth. You'll see for yourself. Come with me.
If I say no?
Every story must have an ending.
I don't care about your stories!
I see. Sorry you feel that way. Fine then. Come or don't come, it's your decision.
Ah! What am I supposed to say? You tell me it's my decision. But I don't have a choice, do I? You're the only one who can tell me what's going on anyways. I have to go with you. I have to.
Irritating. I know. Or are you afraid? It's all right.
Auron. Will I ever go home? Back to Xanarkand?
That's up to Jecht. I'm going to offer my services to Yuna. Come.
Alright, can I just say something, right? A lot of people don't like Tidus as a character. And I think it's, and one of the most misfounded things about it is they say he's whiny and he's annoying, right? And it's because of scenes like this. But I don't know about you guys, but that really resonates with me. Like, this guy is just in a completely alien world. The only person who can describe anything that goes on with him is Auron, who's just told him something bizarre and fucked up and weird. And he's getting no explanation on it. And that bit where Auron's like, fine, just stay, and you can go. And he's totally emotionally blackmailing him. It's so true, like, he has to come. And I think one of the most stupid things people say about this game is, just because Tidus is the main character, traditionally in Final Fantasies, the person you're playing tends to be kind of some kind of leadership character. And people are like, oh, I can't believe Tidus, he was the worst leader. How did he ever become the leader of that group? He's not the leader. He's being dragged around against his will. He's just like along for this ride with these people he doesn't really even know in a world that he doesn't know. And people forget that and they misinterpret the story so heavily. Like, so he gets all this, like, not loads of dislike and hate as a character, but I really do think it's completely misinterpreted. You know, it just seems like this show that we're just along for the ride. We're not the leader. We're not a main, you know, we're not the hero of the group necessarily. We're just the guy we're playing. That this is just his story that we're playing through. And yeah, what we just heard was really weird, okay? Yay for crazy, bizarre Japanese storylines. But by the end, it will make sense. Like, Sin is Jecht, what? You heard two music tracks there in the background. One of them, when we first met Auron, or when they were first having a chat, and Auron just started laughing at us. That was Auron's theme. I really like Auron's theme. And this here, again, is Wandering Flame. Whenever Wandering Flame comes on, you know, it's something good that's going on. It's funny, I never really recognized Wandering Flame on my first time playing through Final Fantasy X until, a little while away. You know, at the start of the game I said, wait until Operation Mi'ihen. I may have to drop that because Operation Mi'ihen's going to be like 20 episodes into an LP. If you give me 20 episodes of time to see whether you enjoy a game or not, then you're probably just going to watch it anyway. But yeah, I noticed it a bit later on in the story the first time I played. But yeah, I really like it. So there we go, we're done. And there's Auron just walking off. I mean, Auron is a fantastic character, truly. In like this world that I'm creating in my private time and stuff, I sort of realised when I was replaying Final Fantasy X recently, I realised I've drawn so much inspiration from certain themes and characters in this game, and Auron's like a big one. I basically invented a character that I have now realised is almost exactly the same as Auron, and I need to change things a little. And it was not a conscious decision. I guess it's just a character that's always resonated with me. He's just so cool. Anyway, so welcome back to Luca. This is now, Luca in its regular state. You'll notice that, actually, you won't notice anything. I don't have to talk about that. So, these people will have new dialogue. Yay! It's dialogue time. We're still investigating how the fiends managed to get in. I'm sorry, but please wait for an official statement regarding this matter. These people are actually shopkeepers. It says, welcome to the Luca equipment shop. Wares have changed. The warrior sword here, you see, these people are basically selling what that woman at the other area was before, except there's two new things. There's metal arm guard. Wait, not the metal arm guard. There's metal bracer. And this shimmering blade. These are pieces of equipment for Auron. Now, the game's going to teach us a new mechanic very soon to do with something called piercing. You'll notice that Kimahri's weapons and Auron's weapons have this extra thing on them called piercing. Yeah, they don't just have strength plus 3, they've got piercing and strength plus 3. So that's like a quirk of those characters. This person here, I would assume, therefore sells items. Yep, there we go. We don't really have to worry about that stuff. And so there's a bunch of characters. The Crusaders have planned a grand operation to smash the Fiends, he says. This person over here says, I hope the operation succeeds. I want to come back here next year. I'm relieved the Grand Maester is safe. We owe it all to Maester Seymour. This person, Biggs and Wedge, they say, did you forget something inside? Give it up. I doubt you'll find it. We are currently assessing the damage from the Fiends. No admittance. See, now in this game, I don't believe you can walk up in the stands. But for some reason, I have a memory of being in the stands. And I guess maybe that's from Final Fantasy X too. Though I don't have any specific memory of going in there in Ten 2. Anyway, so we can come back here. You can go back in the locker room if you like. And chat with the Aurochs. But really, this is the last time we're going to see them. For a while, okay. We won! That means we are the team to watch out for. Unbelievable. Botter, I still have lots to learn from Wacker. I wish he'd come back. You see this is now inscribed on the wall. You can't actually interact with it, though, to get some subtitles. Derek says, yes, thank you. We beat the Goers, all because of you. Yeah, well, I did score. Oh, no, Wacker scored another goal. I'm so happy that that ended up. Letty says, it's not the same without you, man. Come back anytime soon. Jasu says, I still can't believe you won, man. Have to keep pinching myself. You're not going to hear my crappy, like, island accent anymore. Because, well, those are the last guys from the islands in the little areas. It's funny, I've never really mentioned this, but we're now on the mainland. We're on the mainland of Spiro. Finally, we're, like, the core continent. And, you know, the story has actually expressed this to us in various ways already. Before, all we met were, like, nomadic people. Well, I guess nomadic sort of works as a term for them. You know, small tribal people and in small settlements, right? A little bit of Yevon's influence out there because of the temples, but, you know, nothing crazy. These are people trying to live far away from sin, perhaps. But yeah, now we're on the mainland, and you notice as soon as we got to Luca, we started seeing all these other races, and we started seeing politics a little bit as well with the Maesters, and, you know, we're really coming into what Spirit is now, and the game sort of opens up a bit more. The Goers didn't win, but a true fan will stand behind them through thick and thin. That's true. None of these what are they called? Daylight summertime fans or something? Fair weather friends or fair weather fans. I'm gonna practice Prince real hard and be just like Bixen. Sure you are, kid. I hope Sir Graf's not hurt. I hope he is. What a douchebag. You guys just get lucky. The Goers will take the cup next year. Do you know who I sounded like there? Or I think I sounded like? That slug woman from Monsters Incorporated. This is the Luca Goers locker room. No unauthorized entry. Sure. Now, this, unfortunately, is going to have to be a little bit like the Sade, where we could go and speak to everyone again. We could. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to move on. We're actually coming to a period of the game now where we need a lot of cash, a lot of dough. Number one for Awaka. This is going to be our last chance to pay off Awaka very soon. But also, I want to get a Blitz team going. And for that, it's going to cost us some money as well. The Aurochs won the tournament. It must be some kind of mistake. I agree. The authorities should drop the Fiend investigation and look into this first. I'm just glad the Fiends attacked after we won. The Aurochs won the tournament. It must be some kind of mistake. Okay, sure, right. That's just the same conversation because you're two people talking to each other. So there's this guy. Fiend attack, so what? Big deal. Everyone will just soon forget about it and occupy themselves with Blitzball. So yeah, there's a character in the sequel called Tobley, and I don't know whether that's meant to be Tobley or not. So how did those fiends break into the stadium? The authorities have no idea. They can only assume they just popped out of nowhere. Bit of a mystery. Don't worry, it's not some abandoned weird plot point. It will be addressed at some point. Do you know anything about the fiends inside the stadium? We have so few facts we can't write up a feature on here. Of course you can! It's called reporting news and making up the facts as you go. Whenever there's a disaster IRL, you see people are on that instantly. They don't know what's going on. They look up the internet profile of the murderer or whatever and just talk about how he played video games. Hey, congratulations, I got everything on the sphere. Never in my wildest dreams did I think the Besaid Aurochs would win the cup. Thank you. The power of Maester Seymour's Aeon was just incredible. I can see why I was appointed a Maester at such a young age. So this is a guy, something that might slip past most regular players. This guy here says the Sphere Theatre. I'm sure the dialogue didn't change up that way, so we're not going to look for it. Oh yeah, and you two still talking about this Sphin thing? Yeah, they are, I guess. That's weird. I feel like their dialogue must be bugged, because it never changes and everyone else's does. Kind of weird. I wonder if they have more in the code somewhere. But yeah, something kind of weird. Maester Seymour is a Maester, right? And yet he can summon stuff as well. So what, is he also a summoner? What's the story there? How does a summoner become a Maester? Oh, we've not heard of that. Mummy and Daddy aren't very happy. Do you know why? Probably they're scared because fiends attacked them in Luca and they thought Luca was safe. I'm so worried. What if the fiends that appeared in the stadium find their way into the city? There you go, see? I never believed that the fiends would attack the city. This is just horrible. Yeah, so this guy here, Jamal, will be back for you. Don't worry, bro. We will be back. like the Terminator. Cleaning up after the fiends will be a nightmare. We'll be up all night again repairing the stadium, sure. This kid over here says, the Crusaders are all taking off. I hope they'll come back safe. Seymour's Aeon may be able to destroy Sin. So Crusaders all over the place. These guys, at least the Aurochs won't be traveling with us anymore, but the Crusaders will be. When the Fiends first appeared in the stadium, I thought it was a halftime show or something. So I just sat and watched. When suddenly they started rampaging, I was shocked. Why would they bring him on as a halftime show? What are you talking about? You're insane. What a crazy man. Who would say something like that? So anyway, we can go back in the bar. Are the Ronso still in here? I mean, is Kamari even technically with us right now? I don't think technically he is supposed to be with us. Seymour's Aeon was really something, wasn't it? I've never seen anything like it. I'm just doing weird voices and not even looking at who the person is I'm meant to be voicing. Hey, you're an Aurochs player, aren't you? You were great today. Thank you. The tournament's finally over. Give me some piss, will you? This person behind the bar says, hello, Blitzball players are welcome anytime. Sure, give me something to drink. It's funny, on the screens in the background, you actually see like CGI cutscenes playing sometimes. And look, they're highlights of our match. Look at that. It's great. Doesn't matter if you can't play. After all, the player's a player. Good luck. I'm with you all the way. Thank you. The Fiends were the Albeds doing. They're out to get the temples. Hey, do you know what? That's a good idea. They could be the Albed. What are you saying? You know the Albed use Machina? Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, I guess Tidus doesn't believe it because Riku was so nice to him. The Fiends were the Crusaders doing. They're out to sabotage the tournament. You're making no sense at all, and you aren't the least bit convincing either. Yeah, I agree. See, this is kind of weird. We're not a silent protagonist anymore, but we do speak. These are some of the only NPCs in the game where by interacting with them, there's like an insinuation that Tidus has responded, but we never really get that text come up. Kind of weird. But yeah, you know, maybe the Crusaders doing? I mean, there's some merit to that because the Crusaders were kicked out, and it could be sort of their bitter way of saying, you needed us. And they've got a big plan going on. Maybe it's linked to that. This guy says, I couldn't get any tickets, so I was watching the game on that sphere. I was lucky to miss the Fiends. Hey, one time, watching from home is the better option. It's one of those things that people are like, oh, I'd love to live in video games. As much as I think Spirit is a fascinating place, I would never want to live here. Jesus. I would live in, like, Luca or Bavelle or one of the big cities, sure, but, I wouldn't want to come here. This guy says, we're going to be closed for a while. The manager was badly bit by a fiend. Serves him right for leaving me here while he enjoys the game. Dude, he was bit. What are you doing? There's this Guado lady. It's Maester Seymour that protected Maester Micah, right? And now it's my brother that's guarding Maester Seymour. So she loves Seymour because he's half Guado and he's, their seat on the council. There's a dog here. Found something mangled and slobbery. Ifrit obtained overdrive number 2. I've always thought that'd be kind of cool. What if the wolves, the dogs around the game, all gave different Aeon overdrives? That'd be sweet, right? But that doesn't happen. So this lady here, same stuff, just a different day. So whatever. No, I don't want to talk to you. No, that's fine. And this this slightly rotund lady here says it's all such a big mess and I don't know what's going on anymore. All right, there you go. That's Luca done. That's me talking to everyone. I'm so happy that on episode 1, everyone seemed happy that I was going to be talking to everyone. I love you guys. Like, on other channels, it's just full of kids who are impatient.
He's gonna stay here.
Sir Auron knows him, apparently. You were right. He did meet someone he knew.
Do you think he'll find a way back to Zanarkand?
In any case, I'll miss having him around.
He's still in town, isn't he? I think I'll go see him. Oh!
Whoa.
Never mind, here we are.
Sir Auron!
He's just dragging us along in the background.
Yuna,
Sir.
I wish to become your guardian. Do you accept?
You're serious?
You refuse?
No. We accept, right everyone?
Of course. No problem at all.
But why?
Lulu the Skeptic. Love it.
I promised Braska.
You promised? My father? Thank you, Sir Auron. You're welcome to join us.
And he comes too.
Hi, guys. Howdy.
It's me again.
This one I promised Jecht.
Is Sir Jecht alive?
Can't say. Haven't seen him in 10 years.
He's lying! They're lying to each other.
See.
You'll meet eventually.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
What's our itinerary? Where are we headed?
Hey, come with me.
Sure, no worries, Yuna. So you can actually go chat with her, or you can go chat with everyone else. I'm not even going to bother with Kamari. He's done.
Remember, you're suffering from Sin's toxin. Don't say otherwise.
Okay, see, like, it's weird, man. Like, okay, this isn't good, right? I mean, we're going to be traveling with each other. Should we be honest about the Ject is Sin thing? Like, that's pretty messed up, right? Our dad's killing everyone, what?
Where'd you meet Sir Auron anyway?
Oh, God, okay, so what, did we start lying? We should say Xanarkand. Waka doesn't really believe us. But let's say Xanarkand, right? Right? I mean, what could come wrong with that? Anything? I don't know.
Sin's toxin sure is taking its time wearing off. Anyway, I knew you'd find someone you knew here.
Oh, Waka, come on, man. You can throw me a bone someday.
We'll be taking the Mihen Highroad north toward Jose Temple.
Okay, so the Mihen Highroad.
Remember, you're...
Alright, Auron doesn't say anything different, Lulu.
You're a real guardian now, so no mistakes. Understood?
And remember, of course, that on the boat, Waka was even going to approach us. They weren't going to dump us in Luca. Waka was going to approach us and ask us to become Yuna's guardian. So whether we'd found Auron or not, this probably would have happened. Or, you know, we could have just stayed and played Blitzball and Luca. So anyway, here's Yuna. Bit of a infamous scene coming up here.
Hey, watch.
I still can't do it. She learned quicker than me.
You got pretty good.
You sound sad.
Yeah, maybe.
Want to scream?
I really don't think that's gonna help this time.
You know what? It's embarrassing to say this myself, but summoners and their guardians are kind of like Spira's ray of light. A lot of people in Spira depend on us. I learned to practice smiling when I'm feeling sad, you know. I know it's hard.
Yeah. I understand. I think.
Right. Now let's see what you can do.
Huh?
Come on.
It's so bad. In the HD remake as well, they kind of like muted some of the facial expressions because they gave them new faces and didn't update the animations.
This is weird.
Next, try laughing out loud.
What?
Come on, show me.
Oh god. Their reaction is priceless. I've seen him do so many weird things.
You probably shouldn't laugh anymore. Too funny.
It was your idea.
Thank you.
Huh?
I want my journey to be full of laughter.
Okay.
If we should get separated, just whistle. I'll come running. I promise.
Well, let's go.
See, man, she managed to cheer him up.
What are you looking at?
We were just worried you guys might have gone crazy.
Sorry. Well then, alright. Now, we will go to the temple at Jose. And Guardians, don't forget to smile.
Alright, people, let's hear it. Like, what's wrong with that scene? That scene is infamous, okay, as, like, a terrible, like, a shining example of how bad Final Fantasy X's, like, voice acting is and stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? That was meant to be a bad laugh. Like, why don't people get this? Like, they just find it too difficult and awkward to watch. I love awkward humour, personally, so I think I find it easier to watch for that reason. I think it's a great scene, like, and, you know, it's... Yes, there's the fake laughing bit, but then they break into actual laughter afterwards. And there's real character development that happens there too, if you really think about it. Because Yuna, like, sort of said, hey, look, I'll help you out. You know, this has always been a one-way street. It's been, oh, we're here to protect Yuna, we're here to protect Yuna, blah, 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 blah. And now, I don't know, like, it swung both ways a little. And I talked about how Yuna's a conflicted character too, and that demonstrates it. You know, she has usually been really kind of upbeat, even though, you know, that she talks kind of robotic and slow and, you know, whatever. She's always, you know, when there was that race at the temple in Kilika, she ran on up ahead. She's always been, you know, kind of smiling and upbeat, and she just sort of shows that she's learnt to be like that even when she's feeling kind of sad, just because she wants that happiness. You know, it's almost like a facade, and that's why I love that scene. I really do like that scene, because Tidus is like, oh, look, I'm fake laughing. Oh, look at this ironic laugh I'm doing, and then it ends up actually being something real. I don't know. I think it was a bold move to make for their very first thing, with, you know, such heavy animation stuff and their first voice acted project. That's a bold scene to try and do, you know, a really human thing that expresses a lot of subtle things to make that work. And yeah, it might not strike all the chords with everyone, but I like the scene. So there you go, that's my take on it. Even on episode 1, someone was like, oh, I can't wait to see the laughing scene and what you think. There you go, guy. That's what I think of the laughing scene. I think it's great. And I think it gets a bit of hate that it doesn't deserve. Anyway, Traveler's Save Sphere level 2. Thanks to the Besaid Aurochs achievements, save spheres are now able to teleport you to the Blitzball Stadium. This actually has nothing to do with their achievements. I guess they always achieve beating the Albed, so whatever. Right, so we now have level 2. The Blitzball Scout system is now also taught to us. Many denizens of Spira are avid Blitzball players. Talk to them with Square to scout them. Sign the best players in Spira and lead the Besaid Aurochs to victory. So, we can now click play Blitzball at save spheres and play whenever we like. You know, it's kind of funny. Waka retired so that he could focus more on Yuna, while we, Tidus, we're just like, yeah, sure, we'll play Blitzball anytime, let's do it. And so you can always teleport back to Luca now and play Blitzball. You go to the Blitzball screen. There are various things you can do. You can play in a league, which is a lot of matches. I believe it's 10 matches in a row. Blitzball matches tend to take a long time. This is either a mini game that you love or you hate, and I think a lot of people get put off on the wrong foot because of that first initial fight with the Luca goers. Blitzball is actually really enjoyable. It's got some big issues with AI that makes it very exploitable. It's got some stuff that can make it feel tedious, but it also has an incredible amount of depth that if you try and avoid the exploity stuff, it can be an incredible experience to play. It's actually kind of easy as well, because once you know a lot about Blitzball, you can just devastate. Now, the Aurochs start as really bad players, and right now, everyone's teams are pure, okay? So by that I mean, there are only Luca players on the Luca goers. The Besaid Aurochs are all people from Besaid. The Kilika Beasts are all people from Kilika. But as time goes along, as you play Blitzball matches, teams will, contracts with players on teams will run out. And then those enemy teams might choose to sign other people. So you can scout anyone you like that plays Blitzball and put them on the Aurochs. And enemies can scout anyone they like. So once you've played enough Blitzball, teams are no longer pure. You might be against like the Ronso Fangs, but there'll only be one Ronso on their entire team. And, you know, because of this, it can get kind of weird. So anyway, there's leagues you can play. First place prize currently is a Mega Elixir, which is one of the strongest healing items in the entire game. A Mana Sphere for the third place prize, which is really bad. A Return Sphere is actually fantastic This allows you to move anywhere on the sphere grid you've already been without spending any sphere levels, which is really cool. So maybe we want to go for that. There's a tournament which currently isn't on. We just finished a tournament. That was what that story was, so there won't be one for a little while. You can play an exhibition match, which is just, you know, a friendly, basically, a 1v1 or anyone you want. You can read a tutorial and look at data on your team. You can also reset Blitzball data whenever you like, and it will immediately just wipe everything back to as it originally was. So what I'll be doing with this LP is I will be playing Blitzball most of the time when I reach new save spheres, or at least that's the plan. I don't know whether I'll follow through with it. So there's a guy here who says, please give this to the Lady Summoner as a token of my gratitude. He gives you a high potion. Thank you very much. Alright, so I will be playing a fair amount of Blitzball. Should we do this now? No, we're not going to do this now. I'm going to go back up. If you didn't get that chest earlier, by the way, you should get it at this point. So I'm going to be playing a fair amount. But the thing is, the Aurochs suck, and so I'm going to be a pretty ruthless manager. What I'm going to do is get rid of all of the Aurochs, except Tidus, because he's the only one I can't get rid of. And at least he has the Jek Shot. Every single one I'm going to get rid of. There's not going to be a single Auroch in the entire team. And they're going to be pretty let out by that. They're going to be sad, and they're going to say stuff to me, mean stuff to me, because I got them off the team. But you know, that's the way it goes. There's a lot of much better players out there, and we're going to use those to win easily. And I will teach you guys exactly how to accomplish that. So, but before all that, let's just play on the Mi'ihen Highroad. We'll talk more about Blitzball once we've got a bit more gil. We need 2,000 more gil, which we can grind up here to pay to Awaka and finish off his debts. And then we will look into getting some money for Blitzball players. But this is a long road. If I go to my map now, here you go, displays the world map. You'll see that we've actually now moved. So that most southern island was Besaid. The next one was Kilika. The next one here was, you can see it says Luca there. And then now we are on the Mi'ihen Highroad. We are on the main continent, as you can see. I'm not sure what that big dragon's supposed to be. But yeah, we're going to meet some characters here. More new characters. And these characters, I'll just do this sphere grid while I talk about. These characters, do we actually have any ability spheres yet? No, we still don't. I can't believe it. I'll have to deal with the sphere grid later. So these characters, I'm going to tell you guys something. They all have something in common. Well, a lot of them that we meet on the Highroad. I'm not going to tell you who they are or what it is they have in common, but they do have something in common, and it's important to the story, and maybe you'll catch it early. That's not a huge spoiler. It's not a massive tip-off, but I'm interested. Maybe you guys will catch it early. Anyway, a lot of them have got something in common. Let's speak to this guy here.
This is a statue of Lord Mi'ihen. 8 centuries ago, he founded a legion known today as the Crusaders. In just a few short years after their founding, their ranks grew throughout Spira. The Maesters of Yevon feared an uprising and accused them of rebellion. So Lord Mi'ihen walked along this very road to go face their charges and refute them. He succeeded in winning the Maesters' trust, and his legion became an arm of the Yevon clergy. It was then that Yevon gave them the name Crusaders, which they have kept ever since. And the rest is history.
Interesting. So we can speak to him again. Oh, no, okay, I just interacted with the statue. It says, a statue of Mi'ihen, founder of the Crusaders. And this guy, come on.
Although this is a high road, fiends do appear. Be on your guard.
So there'll be fiends, but not particularly strong ones, so we don't have to worry too much. But yeah, this guy here...
Although this is a high road...
is called, oh god, what is his name? Macon? I believe that's his name. And yeah, he's pretty cool. He teaches you different things about the world. And so, with the Crusaders...
Huh, that one looks slow.
It's also tough. Let me handle this.
No way! I can take it!
So here's a funny thing. We have to attack here.
What the?
And so, now we can attack with Auron. And you'll notice that there was a different animation there.
Told ya, Sir Auron's the best.
I could have done that.
Actually, no, Tidus. You can't. See, there's something pretty interesting here. You remember that piercing thing? I can now talk to you guys about this mechanic. There are some enemies that are armored. And as armored enemies, when you attack them, they'll shield themselves. You might have noticed when Tidus struck him, he got shielded. And the way to bypass this is weapons with the piercing ability on them. So Auron's weapons have piercing on them. There are a couple of small examples where they won't have piercing, and those are weird, like, bugged weapons, which I'll talk about when we get to them. But he has piercing, and the only other person who has piercing is Kimahri. So Kimahri can be anything you want, And therefore he also has piercing, so, you know, that keeps him versatile. So these two are our big heavy hitters, can destroy armored creatures. There are skills you get way later in the game, well maybe not that much later, but later in the game that allow other people to hit stuff, like bypass piercing, like it's a debuff. You know how Auron's a debuffer? Eventually he'll be able to strip enemies of armored. So yeah, but that's what he starts with. And it's funny, if you had grinded enough as Tidus, you actually could have killed that thing in one shot. Yeah, it would take an awful lot of grind, but you can one-shot it if you've spent enough time in killing it.
No problem.
So these are the bombs. Remember these? We were talking about these. So we got to kill them in 3 hits, right? And what I talked to you guys about doing with that was Lulu, who can cast Blizzard on them.
Let's end this.
Sure, don't worry, Lulu. We will absolutely end this. So she'll cast Blizzard, and her Cactar will help her cast. So 400 damage already. That's like half its health gone. So we don't have to feel too bad here. And now there's something else we can do with bombs. Self-destruct, I never talked about this, okay? But it's a one-shot, basically. It does crazy damage. It does, like... The damage it does is based on your max health, and it does, like, triple your max health or something. It's a really, really, really powerful attack. And so you know how Valifor has Energy Blast, which I said is, like, one of these really high base damage attacks? Self-destruct is one of those too, one of these really high things. But the caveat is it removes you from the battlefield. And as it turns out, Kimahri can learn self-destruct. So by lancing that bomb, though, we just grew it again without doing much damage to it. So that's a little bit worrying. We'll demonstrate it soon enough. So it's got 300 health. I don't quite trust Waka. Even though he has a cold ball, I don't trust him to kill it. So I'm just going to pass his turn. I'm going to skip Kimahri's turn, even though his overdrive's full, and in theory he could self-destruct himself on the bomb. But the thing is, if Kimahri does that, he won't get any experience for the fight, so... But it's a cool ability, but it's sort of a last resort. And in truth, there's like one area in the game I'd really recommend you use it, but for the LP, I'll demo it a few times. So there you go, we killed that guy, and that was sort of another mock battle, I suppose. Over here on the left...
You know what those ruins are from?
Some old city?
Correct. A city most ancient. A terrible testament to sin's power. I tremble every time I see them. Compared to sin, humans are mere mud puppies.
But I believe humans are the only ones capable of defeating sin.
A good reply. I am relieved to hear you say that, milady summoner.
Oh?
Where are my manners? I am matron, a scholar, at your service, milady. I am on a journey, studying the history of our world, Spira, seeking its stories and secrets. My travels have taken me to many places, and I am troubled by what I have seen. Fragile smiles on people's faces, crumbling at the mere mention of sin. They are counting on you, milady. Give them a reason to rejoice once more.
I will.
Sure, dude. I mean, he seems quite nice. And he's actually going to be a recurring face.
Ah, Lady Yuna's guardians, I presume.
So there you go. This is one of those weird bits of dialogue that sort of... Remember, whenever we talk to someone as Tidus, we tend to be... We represent a group, okay? And mainly, you know, the group of guardians, it seems there, rather than Yuna herself included. But here we've got a cool old ruin. And if you interact with it, you actually see it's called Al Bhed inscribed on it. Now, I do not believe this means that this is an Al Bhed ruin. What I believe this means is that the Al Bhed came here and tried to salvage stuff from it, eventually writing this down. So, more weird text, and we are getting better at Al Bhed, but unfortunately, we can't read it too well, and we're just going to have to skip through this. But it is there, and I should mention it. Around the back of this thing, you'll actually find there's at least a chest, and something inside me tells me there's an Al Bhed primer here. There's this one here at least. And we got the Ice Brand. So Ice Brand is pretty good, at least for here. This is a... Oh my god, what is wrong with me? Ice Brand? Oh, I guess it's a Tidus weapon. So it's pretty good here because it's Ice Strike, and of course we've got bombs on the Highroad, which we can be dealing with. So we'll equip that instead of our lightning weapon. And I think I may have missed some items. So one main thing you can do on the Highroad, okay, is speak to a lot of the characters that are wandering around, and many of them have gifts for the summoner. So Waka's got an ice ball here. This enemy is resistant to magic. So you might find that if we attack with Waka, it could have survived. It didn't, so that's fine. We'll cast fire on this. And here, you'll see for Kimahri, he has piercing, so he can attack this enemy. The thing is, our Kimahri is kind of under-leveled at the moment. He hasn't moved very much on the sphere grid at all, so he didn't manage to kill it. But that thing was low enough, though, for Wacker to be able to finish it off.
I'm on a roll.
Sure you are. Let's get Auron in the front line, shall we? Since I'm not going to be swapping players around for experience, let's get him in the front line so we can experience a little bit of him. Oh, never mind, we don't want that. So, here we go. So, formation, and we'll pop Auron on. There's something else to talk about here at the Highroad also, that's related to the sequel. Now, remember Macon just told us, okay? We've got the Crusaders. I guess I didn't miss anything because we already talked to you, didn't we? I don't know, we didn't. There you go. Hey, hey there, Guardians. Here, use this to defend the Summoner well. He gives us a Hunter's Spear. This was the guy we already spoke to. Crusaders are really active, this guy says. This little girl here says, you're a Guardian, right? I'd like to give you this. She gives us 2 antidotes, so thank you. That Lance was a Kimahri weapon. I knew we were going to get one. So yeah, check it out. We already have a Hunter's Spear equipped, but this one has strength plus 10% on it, so that's going to help us out. We'll move up. So yeah, Macon told us we've got the Crusaders. The Crusaders were originally called the Crimson Blades. In the sequel, okay, over the next few episodes, there's going to be a lot going on to do with the Crusaders, okay? They've kind of been ramping into this story for a while. There's going to be a lot going on. And in the sequel, they reveal there's a whole other side to the story. And that side of the story reveals that there is a branch of Crusaders called the Crimson Blades, which is really cool, actually. So they were originally called the Crimson Squad. So they were originally called the Crimson Blades. Then they became known as the Crusaders. And there is a branch of Crusaders who are named after the original guys, the Crimson Squad. So look, you'll see Tidus is just a beast right now because he's got correct elemental weapons equipped. We'll use Lulu to kill this guy. And actually what I think I want to do now is use the sphere grid. And I've got a tiny little thing that I want to teach you guys, and then we will make haste. So hopefully we've at least got some ability spheres going. Do we? I mean, if we don't, there's literally no point in me using. We don't. Like, what is this? There's a certain enemy we'll be able to find soon, though. So actually, don't worry. No sphere grid. You see how my focus is all gone? I'm not like totally on the ball. I don't have everything planned out. I don't, you know, like bang, 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 bang. There's this dimension, this dimension. This is when I'm going to do this. This is when I'm going to do this. Oh no, guys. It's all kind of different. So we've got a preemptive strike, and what we're going to do is just blow the crap out of him, I guess. Kill that guy. Kill that guy. What I might do, guys, and then we'll swap Auron in just here. And you see how, like, there's very rarely a reason to bring Yuna in? It's because, look, we can just kill it. It's all about who one-shots what. And, you know, Yuna can get left in the dark. She doesn't one-shot anything. She summons Aeons, obviously, but who wants to sit around watching all those animations, right? However, it would be kind of wise to get Yuna her overdrive around about now.
Lady Summoner, I presume.
Yes, I am Yuna.
I am Lucille, captain of the Jose Chocobo Knights.
And I'm Alma. We've been charged to guard the Highroad.
There have been reports of a large fiend appearing in this area with a taste for chocobos. Do take care, Summoner Yuna, if you are to rent any chocobos.
Thank you. We will be careful.
Good. We should get back to our rounds. Farewell.
Our prayers are with you.
A large fiend? Let's go get him!
Why?
It's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
What'd I say now?
Jecht said that a lot too. And every time he said it, it meant trouble for Braska and me.
I love that. You guys might notice, actually, for the HD remake, when they added trophies to the game, there was a trophy we got when we went out of our way to kill the Sin Spawn in Kilika, I believe this was when it was, called The Right Thing to Do. And it's actually a reference to, obviously, this, which we get in the story later. But, you know, I like that. I like that a lot. And it's weird, because now we've got this guy in our party who, like, not just knows a lot about our dad, maybe more about our dad than we do, but knows more about Yuna's father, too, Braska. It's kind of weird that, you know, we're here together like that. So we'll kill this guy. And so who we just met there were the Chocobo Knights. Lucille, Elmer, they're kind of weird characters because we speak to them a lot, but they're of little consequence, honestly. They return a little bit, I guess, sort of later on, shortly. But, yeah. So, there's a guy over here that we can speak to who says, I hear some big operation's about to start. Sure thing. And also nearby, we get... here we go. These giant things here, these drop ability spheres. Generally in this game, okay, quick little things like that drop speed spheres, which is why you end up with like 99 of them. Big things like this, who are vulnerable to silence attack, dark attack, sorry, drop ability spheres. And the other thing you can do to this guy is power break him, which will make him do a lot less damage.
It will hurt no one.
Yeah, that's cool, no worries. So look, he's not going to be doing so much damage now. And like big enemies like this, as I say, they drop ability spheres. So all we need is one ability sphere, and finally we can do with Kimahri what I wanted to do back in Kilika. So we'll just attack with Whacker here. And Auron, and it's really weird. It's going against every sinew of my body right now not to just swap another character in to give them experience. But we'll make do. So you go with dodging. He's really not a threat, even if he did get a lucky hit in. There you go, it's dead. Now we didn't overkill it. Overkilling it would have given us 2. So what we'll do is we'll play a little bit differently next time we find one. So there you go, an ability sphere. Look! Alright, now we can do something. So we're going to go over to Kimahri. Kimahri is our utility character. Kimahri has been waiting here since the start of the game. Look, since the start of the game, all Kimahri has got is a single defense sphere and an ability. Oh, I guess and a magic one. It's really not good. Okay, ability sphere. Teaches the ability extract ability. Now, what we can do with Kimahri is we can make him force enemies to drop ability spheres. Thank Christ. Everyone is stalled. I'm actually going to do something here, and I don't usually recommend it. This is something I did on my test file too, funnily enough. But I'm going to grind. I'm actually going to grind just to kill some enemies here and grab some... Oh, well, this thing will drop them anyway. So we're going to try and overkill this. So what we're going to do is go to Yuna.
Go.
And we're going to summon... Okay, I want to summon Valor. I just looked at my guide. You might not notice, I actually walked away from the mic and the computer or PS3 when we were talking to Lucille and that lot. Lucille and Elmer. There was another guy in the background too called Clasco.
Fight on.
Yeah, no worries, she's gonna have it, don't worry. So, our options here, we can cast magic on it. It is not weakness, vulnerable rip really to any elements particularly. We do have sonic wings, which is delay, and you'll see it slides the monster over. But that's not actually going to prevent its next turn from coming. I'll use it anyway, just to sort of demonstrate, because I don't think I've used it yet. Oh, and apparently it did. So he... Oh, okay, so this is one of those enemies, right? That because Valor flies, he really struggles to use anything against us. So we can just keep attacking. I think he might have one ability that does work. But, yeah, so because we are flying, he really has no way of getting around our defenses. And so we do have a stronger Aeon in our arsenal. We have Ifrit. But Valor 4 will do much better for us. So we'll just keep hammering away on him. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to charge Valor 4's overdrive. So we'll do it a couple more times. And it's obviously not going to charge in this one fight. I think it'll be dead before her overdrive goes fully up. But we'll see. Do you guys remember how I talked to you guys about how there are overdrive modes in the game also? Well, Aeons sort of have their own special mode that allows them to charge through many different things. Their overdrive will charge whenever they deal damage and whenever they take damage, you know, like no matter what. So, you know, they sort of get a double up thing, a special one that players that never learn. I actually sort of think there should be... Like, there are legendary weapons in this game, by the way. There are, you know, powerful end-game weapons. And, it's kind of funny because I've always thought there should be a legendary overdrive mode. You know, one that just charges for many, many different things, but has a really long, complicated process to get. But I guess you can become overpowered enough in this game for general stuff that might be a bit too strong. Now, the super bosses at the end, one of the most difficult super bosses in all of Final Fantasy is in that. But, yeah. Alright, so here we go. Tidus, his overdrive is almost full. Oh, and I guess he doesn't charge from attacking stuff yet. He only charges from taking damage, so... Not quite yet. He needs to get hit once more, and then he'll... There you go. Cool. So Tidus' overdrive is up. And as I recommended before, this probably will not kill the white elemental. Now, overdrive damage is... Sure, okay. Overdrive damage is typeless. It uses its own damage formula completely. So enemies that usually would be resistant to physical attacks might take substantial damage from overdrives just because they don't technically count as physical. Yuna isn't getting a go over there because she's asleep and silenced. We're just going to keep hammering on this thing. Oh god, I healed it because it's water. So yeah, that's a perfect example though of how they have different. Oh, you notice how while Yuna is asleep as well, it took Sensor away from us. I never realized the game did that. That's pretty cool. And now we've got Sensor back. So yeah, because I have a water weapon equipped, the Brotherhood there, and I just attacked. Wait, that's not the Brotherhood. Why does it look like the Brotherhood? It's not actually the Brotherhood. Because I've got an ice weapon equipped and I just attacked an ice enemy, I healed it. Well, so maybe my overdrive should have healed it for loads, but it doesn't because it uses a different damage formula. I just killed all those enemies and realized I never used extractability on a single one. I need to get with it. I actually need to stop recording soon. I've been recording for too long and I'm hungry and I need to go do stuff. But I want to, I don't know, I want to get further in the game. But the thing is now I'm sort of-ish grinding. And you guys don't want to see this, maybe? Or maybe you do, I don't know. Alright, let's just get Kamari in, and then I'll do a lot of it off screen. So, Kamari is going to want to use extractability. There can be some challenges here. He can easily use it on this. He's not going to miss. These enemies aren't evasive. That's fine. He can easily use it on the Blizzard guy in the middle because they are also not evasive. So instead of dropping a power sphere, this thing will now drop an ability sphere. Instead of dropping a mana sphere, the one in the middle will now drop an ability sphere. But the Dingo guy, Kamari might not be able to hit. In fact, I'm telling you, he definitely cannot because he's not done anything on his grid yet. So he's almost basically at starting stats right now. So it can be kind of difficult to get ability spheres from the Dingo guys. So yeah, we'll just swap Tidus in and just kill it outright. Like, why not? And it's a shame because I can overkill these because he's got the right element on his weapon. But yeah. In general, you know... Oh my god, how did he die? What is that? Wow, is that my first death? Has anyone died yet in the series? I don't think they have. That's pretty pathetic.
Let me help.
That's the first time someone's died. It's not quite a game over, sure, but there you go. Alright, so that's the Phoenix down. Yuna throws it. Carries it in a pouch in her cleavage. Final Fantasy characters tend to do that. I don't really know what's up with that. I guess it is sort of useful. I was talking to some people the other day. I think they should make bras that have like pockets on them. Because that would be like pretty useful, right? Anyway, so there you go. That thing's dead. And we now got a bunch of ability spheres. I will now go do a bunch more fights, guys, just off screen. And get myself a bunch more ability spheres and charge Valifor's overdrive. Once I have done that, I will see you shortly.